Hello, everyone. This is Kev, and this is Black Men Being Brutally Honest. Let me give some shout outs to the people I see in the chat. Two of my favorite content creators, RPM and the Village Arsonist. What's going on, fellas? And we got Cool Gamer in the building as well. Listen up. As we walk into this broadcast, please hit that like button. And also, if it's your first time here, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. Just Phil Brad, what's going on? Say I am not that many away from 3K, trying to get the channel to 3K. So yeah, that will be a short term goal, and I do believe in my content enough to be able to do that. So yeah, so this one right here is near and dear to my heart because um, I'm here to defeat one of the biggest straw man arguments facing any black male space. Now, let me explain what's on the screen. Um, Back in April 28th of 2017, I created this Facebook group called Black Men Being Brutally Honest with everyone, and I had in parentheses, and their moms. That's something that we use in my, you know, that's something that we kind of expressed when we were, when I was growing up. It's like, yeah, I'll tell everybody and your mama. So that's what I did. I named it Black Men Being Brutally Honest with Everyone and Their Moms. And what I didn't want to do is, since I have respect for my mother, I really rethought the name, and I just shortened it to Black Men Being Brutally Honest with Everyone, as if that's a short name. But okay, just to use a little bit of discretion in the messages I was trying to send, but that's what it was. I had to come up. I had to come up with a name that pretty much grabbed people's attention. And one of the things that it did was people were like, "How can black men be honest with anyone when we're not honest with ourselves?" And I took exception to that many times, but my whole approach to when I first created the group was I wanted to highlight the positives of being a black man and celebrating the accomplishments of black men and black people. I wanted to make a space for men, but of course, women were added to it, and in came the trolling and the insults and the challenges of running a platform that was fair and balanced to and for black men. And I have mixed feelings about the accomplishments that that group achieved. Then, and the biggest accomplishment is that it lasted 5 years on Facebook. Like, I thought that the group would have been long deleted since then. But anyway, one of the biggest straw man arguments. Oh well, one of the biggest arguments that I always faced coming into that group was, you know, rhetoric such as, why weren't we trying to save the black community? Because I had opened up that group for everything, advertising your businesses, networking, just combos, that black people could have that weren't acceptable and people stayed away from, in other places and spots because they were seen as negative, they were seen as divisive. But my thing was, if we felt that way for real, um, then it needed to be said, and we needed to get it out, so we could work it out. But as with many conversations in that group, Here came in the the solutions talking point. Why are we not giving any kind of solutions? Why aren't we why aren't we trying to solve the problems of the black community? Blah blah blah. And my responses varied, but one of my most prominent responses was, why should we have why should we have to solve this thing if you guys keep messing everything up? You know, the one thing that people can do to solve the problems in the black community is to not become a problem. And it was just that simple for me. And I don't get why people don't understand how sensible I mean, how that doesn't make sense, staying in a peaceful place and not causing any trouble, not being divisive amongst themselves and others. So, uh, yeah, what's going on, Jamil Sword? Good to see you again, brother. So my thing is, we aren't identifying a solution because we're not saying what the problems are. We as a people don't want to admit it for various reasons. Number one, we they always tried to bring me under this belief that other groups of people were watching us. Like I would hear a lot of people saying, well, why we got to act like this in front of white folks? We know white people are watching, blah, blah, blah. So I would reference to the group's title again: Black Men Being Brutally Honest with Everyone. We can be brutally honest with everyone, including each other and those groups of people. and it's just one thing that I never got. Snowman in the morning with Cole Johnson. What's going on? Thanks for showing up once again. Yeah. So the group kind of reached a height, but everybody was on some trolling shit, some back and forth shit, some ratchet shit until, like, I would say November of 2017, the group faced a temporary deactivation. And that kind of threw the rhythm of the group off because, uh, you know, I was given some bad ideas, basically. I was given some bad ideas, and instead of going with my first mind, I implemented a couple of those bad ideas, and it stunted the growth of the group. If that had not have happened, the group's number would have probably been 50 to 60,000. I mean, the group was just growing just that fast. But I never was one shy of having a discussion with anyone. I mean, of course, I had my fun, but I'm gonna put it to you like my habitual line stepper brother, Dark Skater 7, put it to me. He said that, Kev, you do troll a lot, a whole lot, but there's always a hint of truth in your trolling. And it's like trolling is a word that carries a slippery slope with it, because people feel like once you say troll, then you're being immature. And I mean, like, well, we're not perfect. But anyway, let me get back to the topic at hand. We're always hit with the solutions conversation. Why aren't you guys trying to come up with solutions? Why aren't you guys trying to come up with ways to solve the problems in the black community? And seriously, that was a very insincere sentiment that was expressed, because every time I would see that argument being started or displayed, it was always in a post where people didn't really want to talk about what the post was about. And it wasn't like there was only a limited number of people who could make posts. Everybody that was a member of that group can make a post. Just like everybody that is on YouTube as a content creator can make videos on whatever they want to make, if it was discussion worthy. The solutions argument is nothing but a bad straw man argument. It really is. It's a bad straw man argument. And it's only brought up when you don't want to discuss what the topic is for whatever post or whatever video is being made. So it's a bunch of crap. And it's one that I do grow tired of. But every time somebody brings it up, I'm not shy about telling them how tired I am of it. Like the news story I did a couple days ago. Well, where it was about that woman who threw her baby in the trash, and the child's father ended up killing her last week. Like I posted the video in the Facebook group, and I didn't mean for it to turn into some huge discussion or anything. It's great that we can talk about these things so we can take the mask off of some of this shit that goes on in our community. But someone showed up on the post, and is it Prepper 101 Hybrid Catastrophic Impact X83rd Power? What's going on? Someone showed up on the post. Let me see if I can read it to you guys. I'll show you the screenshot momentarily if I can. If we all have that kind of time, and I do plan on being on for at least another couple hours. And this was a black guy, and here's what he said. He said, "Can y'all talk about some real shit or the end times or what's really going on in the world or why inflation is going or why did slavery happen or why black people are calling themselves Hebrew Israelites?" This is an actual comment under that post for that video, as serious as a topic as it was. So why wouldn't he qualify that as some real shit or what's going on in the world? It goes back to the solutions argument. He just wanted to straw man away from what was actually being talked about. And like, granted on this person who said that in the past in the group, and he's been one of the longtime members, he had always been kind of a simp. Yeah, could you imagine someone bringing that up on a news story about a woman who threw her baby in the trash? Let me read it again. He said, "Can y'all, as if he's not a member of the group that can make posts, can y'all talk about some real shit?" That is some real shit. Or the end times. The end times. Look. People have been trying to end the world ever since I was a kid. I mean, people always had specific dates. I mean, it's such. And this was stuff that would come up in mainstream media. And the crazy part about that is, in the present day, now that kind of thing is coming up on the internet, and people are acting like the internet is just, oh my God, it's just the worst thing that ever happened, when mainstream media was the first crazy people. But he was like, "Can y'all talk about some real shit or the end times or what's really going on in the world or why the inflation is going?" Inflation is going, especially in the US, because of your stupid president. Or why did slavery happen? I told him simply to read, or why black people are calling themselves Hebrew Israelites. I said, go ask one. Go ask one. This is the kind of and the reason why he even brought it up like that is because this dude used to simp in the past. He did not want to hear about the bad shit that black women did. He didn't want to hear about it. He didn't want it discussed. And I'm sitting up there like, there's a dead baby involved. But, people, and that's just the tip of the iceberg. There had been very many things like this that went on in that group. And it's just like this. The reason why I brought up the group and everything is because it is a platform that was made by a black man for black men that other people and other groups could participate in. But the one thing that I really wanted black men to do, the one thing that I really wanted was for black men to be able to feel as if, they could, that we could take charge of a platform. And for the for a lot of it I was correct, but for a lot of it I was wrong too. Because one major problem is that we just had too many simps. There were too many simps. So people start like because I ran the group with an iron fist and people wanted to be under this illusion that black men did not have this kind of power or sensibility. Like, I mean, making a Facebook group does not give me any kind of power. Let me tell y'all just like that. It's just making a Facebook group. It's not it's not like I got nuclear weapons pointed at everyone just because I made this platform for black men. It was just a place where the odds were evened up because I had been in black Facebook discussion groups before, but unfortunately for the stability of my membership, they were run by bidders, they were run by feminists, and they were run by simps. So every time they had something to say that was poor on the part of black men, I would just be like, look, this is bullshit. And I can prove to you that it's bullshit, and I didn't last long in those places. One thing that I understood about black folks in general is we don't like pushback. We don't. And that is a major problem with us. And how do we solve that problem? We listen. We listen to understand. And if the person on the other side is wrong, and if we disliked it that much, we are supposed to have the intelligence to give better information or to debunk the information that we don't like. But one problem that we do have is we just don't want to admit the truth. We just don't want to admit the truth that yes, while there are some horrible black men out there, there are also some horrible black women. And if we can't face those two hand in hand together, a lot of this shit ain't gonna be solved. But my thing was black men were getting a terrible rap. We just were. We were just getting a terrible rap. And there needs to be some brothers like the content creators that that watch this channel and the content creators that are doing their thing on their own on their platforms as well. It's on us. The onus is on us to set the record straight because guess what? Mainstream media ain't gonna do it. Mainstream media is not. Mainstream media is not gonna help us out with this. The Black Messiah, what's going on? I see you down there. No gross generalization. Hey, look, man. I'm just gonna tell you just like this. Um, I have the right to carry the combo or to carry the discussion anywhere I want at this point. You don't know what I've been through trying to communicate sensibly with our people. To give this sugar coated version of everything that goes on with us is not fair to you and to everyone else. It's not. It's not fair, dude. I can say not all day. But in places where black men are being disparaged, that not all argument doesn't work. It doesn't. So everybody needs to swim a little bit. It's not just gonna be black men. No, everybody needs to come in the damn water. And believe me, I love my people. I do. But a lot of those times I'm just plain disappointed. Yes, there are room for positive conversations, but how much interest is generated in those conversations, especially in the black space of YouTube, unless you're dealing with something like entertainment, like movies and television series? Shit. But I'm not saying that just to say this is why I have these heavy conversations. I believe I'm having conversations that need to be had. Period. So generalize or no generalize, hell, if it's something that most of us see, it needs to be discussed. Now, the person that said that to me during the on the post where I posted the video, the person that said that, oh, can we talk about something else? Is definitely he definitely wasn't interested in talking about the things that he had mentioned, and I called him out on it. It's just the goofy straw man arguments. That's all it is. Is so Marco Ross. He said, I push back on this title a little bit. We need solutions based content. We get plenty of solutions based content. We do. We have plenty of solutions based content. I have given solutions. Roger Report has given solutions. Southeast Dusty, what's going on? A lot of these black male YouTube channels, we do give solutions. We do. At de facto, what's going on? We need to generalize their behavior more because it's becoming ever more prevalent. Yeah, it is. I mean, the behaviors are more prevalent, but I'm not saying Marco Ross. I'm not saying that we are not doing or we don't need or we're not doing solutions based content. It's just the fact of the matter is no one really cares. That's what I'm saying. When people say, why aren't you talking about solutions? Those are the people that aren't really listening. Southeast Dusty. The solutions talk is just nonsense. They aren't looking for solutions. It's just a way to curb the current conversation. Yeah, straw man. Straw man. Just looking for a straw man to get away from the topic that is being discussed. Yeah. Let me share the screen real quick we can so we can get a clear understanding on what I say, what I mean when I say straw man. And for those of you who don't know, Google is your friend. Okay, I Google straw man argument, but it says a straw man fallacy occurs when someone takes another person's argument or point, distorts it, or exaggerate it in some kind of extreme way, and then attacks the extreme distortion as if that is really the claim the first person is making. Okay, so say for instance, I said something like, these hoes be lying, which is the case a lot of the time. And then another person comes in and saying, so you're saying these women about are lying about being violated. They're lying about being assaulted. I'm like, no, there's many lies you can tell. But see, here's the thing. Don't fall for the straw man. See what I just did there? By entertaining that person, then I got pulled into their straw man argument. And what a straw man does, it takes you down a rabbit hole instead of you staying on course. When you run into a straw man argument, you cannot let that person prevail. Stay on topic as much as you can. People often, when people aren't comfortable, they try to change the direction of the conversation. And it's like this. The reason why we have so many things that's horrible that goes on in this community that people don't want to or aren't willing to admit is because we have not been having these conversations. A lot of these conversations are female led conversations. That's another reason. Shit. But the things that I endured just by making a platform for black men, and I'm not necessarily talking about YouTube. I've had this YouTube channel for 4 years, and I wasn't the best as far as my consistency was, or it could have been a much bigger YouTube channel. I'll be one of the first ones to admit that. Missing days, postponing shows, sometimes like in the early goings, like in the first year, trying to find the motivation to move on and try to carry the channel to a new level. And look, a lot of people that say that they want the more positive, more solution based conversations, guess what? A lot of these people, they don't really want that. I mean, we have those. We have people that say we need to go seek therapy. It's good for black people to get therapy because we are people that are traumatized. Just because of the way that we have been constantly treated in this country. A lot of that doesn't make a lot of people comfortable saying that. There is a huge divide between black men and black women. Now, my argument is that black men, although there are some black men that are enraged or go through what they say red pill rage, who's had the floor longer? So, but whoever is to blame, it that's one of the things. How do we mend the fences between black men and black women? That's what a lot of you guys are here for. A lot of you guys have given up, and I understand that. But my job isn't to force you into a position. My goal is to make sure that a black man's perspective stays out there. I'm not trying to cause division. I love black women. I just don't like how they are sometimes. A lot of the times actually. So there is a certain kind that I do like, that I do love. But for the most part, most of them go with what not only what black women are saying, but what a lot of other groups of women are saying as well. One thing that happens within black men is our lack of unity. Trying to be the HNIC, trying to be better than the other black man. I mean, hell, I gotta admit, some of us are better than others. And we are not a monolith. We're all not supposed to think alike. But to encourage the division between black men or trying to have some or assert some kind of unnecessary control, that is what's splitting us up. And that's why you hear a lot of shouting matches on these panels. While a lot of people complain about the shouting matches, a lot of people complain about, you know, these men can't get it together. Guess what? Their eyes are glued to the screen. Their ears and their attention is second to none. So yes, there are people that are looking for solutions that they don't see on mainstream media. I get that. There are some people that are genuine in their resolve. I get that as well. But for the most part, people say that, oh, why aren't y'all talking about solutions? Have not presented a problem. What is the problem that we need a solution for? I remember there was this guy who claimed that he was a writer and an author. And I'm not talking about anyone that is in the space because I haven't seen this guy in the space on YouTube, but he was in my group. And he was asking me, Kev, why aren't we? He asked me the same question: why aren't we coming up with solutions? I would say I can give you a list of solutions. First of all, while we need an education, we need as a people, especially the senior members in our community, to supervise that education so our children won't be misled. We need to support black businesses so we can create opportunities that stay within our community. We need to keep the dollar in our community. You know, we need to have our own system to ostracize and punish those who do damage to our community and not to promote the bad shit and make it look cool. I mean, it wasn't exactly in those words, but I presented about 10 solutions. You know what this nigga said? And part of my excuse of the N word. Yeah, man, I get all that. That's all well and good. But first, we got to stop talking about these women. And then that's when I realized that you guys aren't looking for solutions. I mean, maybe the guys that watch this channel, you know, maybe we could get together and get some great ideas going. But for the most, all these whack ass people that say that shit, they only want they have an agenda. Let me see if I can find that community post. Black Messiah, see, he said that's not a solution, bro. That's an idea. So okay, so here's the thing. Like I said, present a problem that we need a solution to. Pablo Pablo Fresco Bar, what's going on? So let me see if I can just excuse me for a moment and as you walk in, please hit that like button. If it's your first time here, hit that subscribe button. It is for the algorithm, as they say, and as I'm saying to you. But let me see if I can pull this. I don't mean to call a person out, but I mean it is what it is. See, like as I like, look, not spewing any sour grapes, but there's a couple other YouTubers on that's on some fuck shit right now, and guess what? They have a big crowd. I mean, and not and don't get me wrong when I say stuff like this. It is it is clearly the onus is on me to make things more attractive over here. You know, so let me see if I can find that post, and let me see if I can share some of these answers with you guys. And please, like for a lot of you guys, I'm not trying to put y'all on the spot. It's just that I just want to prove something to y'all real quick. Yeah, yeah. So let me share this screen real quick. Youth gang violence. Raise your kids better. That's what black. That's what Black Messiah said. Youth gang violence. And eat fatherless homes. Single parenthood. Yeah, you're bringing up problems right now that is that parenthood, single mother parenthood, and fatherless homes is basically the same thing. It's basically the same thing. How do you raise your kids better? What the fuck are you talking about? You're just babbling at this point. But I'll get back to you in a second. I'm gonna actually show y'all the comment that inspired this this broadcast right here. The village arsonist. I'll respect that guy's opinion, but that's not. This comment is not about the one that he made. Okay, this one right here. This whoever Nashir Auntie, y'all corn like okay. Well, I forgot to share the question with y'all. I was like, so why do y'all hate the Black Manosphere? And you know what though? It's like even though people do share what their opinions are about it, I don't feel like I have straight enough answers on that. Greg, who frequents this channel quite often, he said the truth hurts like a mofo. Well, that's not he gave an answer as to why he believes people hate the Black Manosphere, but I don't believe he hates the Black Manosphere. The Bunker TV, another great content creator, he said they will never say. But Nashir Auntie down here says uh, y'all corny, divisive, don't have any functional solutions, and often can't walk the talk. Okay. So I'm just gonna show y'all my response to that. I said, you had a father, right? He says at black men being brutally honest. Yes. Then my response to that was, he's your first teacher. That solutions argument is dumb. Stop listening to BANs. And that's and that's a lot of the problem. We have some bitch assness going on. So let me get back to this person right here. I'm not targeting you. So he said, how do you raise your kids better? How do you raise your kids better? I can't tell a person how to raise their child, but one thing that I understand and that works is communication, love, and discipline. You know, you're an adult. You know better than that child, or supposed to know better than that child. You know, and he said, "Don't target or hate me. This is just how I think. Not accepting adverse thoughts or opinions. Problem. Look, I'm just simply answering you. I'm answering what you say. I'm not targeting you. I'm not going to call you any kind of names or anything. If you start calling me names, I guarantee you I'm a lot worse than you are. I just carry myself in a certain way on this channel here. So no one's targeting you. Toya the tutor, what's going on? Always good to see you. De facto says prime example of gynocratic societal standards. More fighting than fixing. Well, that right there is a de-evolution of a mentality. That's a de-evolution of a mentality, and I do agree. A lot of people rather fight than to try to fix things. But we one thing you have to understand is, in order for us to reach any kind of solution or reach any kind of middle ground, we have to change the mentality. So I'm like your boy the other night. Fuck your feelings, Marcus Aurelius. Keep it 100. Like, fuck people's feelings when it comes to talking about these things. Like, if you really want the solutions, we're gonna have to have the discussion first. Well, yeah, fight to fix it. Yeah. So my thing is, yeah. So the Black Messiah has given his ideas of what some of the problems are. How do we solve the problem of name calling? Ignore those people. Yeah, he put name calling up here. Ignore those people. I've been called so much shit just for making a Facebook group. I could write a book. I could write a book because people don't because because people don't want to accept like what the problems really are because they take it personal. They're like hit dogs. I've been called plenty of names. Shit, I've been doxxed. So I had to learn it. Like if I feed into it, it's just gonna become it's just gonna become a needless argument. Like for the first 2 months, the sisterhood was calling me a bitch left and right. And that's one of the most denigrating things you can call a grown man is a bitch. So my deal was, hey Kev, just ignore it. Um stay away from arguing with people like that. You if they have to call you that, then you have definitely struck a nerve and you've won. Not that I want people to go around calling me a bitch or anything like that, because I know I'm not a bitch. I'm a grown ass man. But I do understand people call you names just to throw you off of what your of what your intended goals are. If I took the time to address the name calling, like, oh please guys, stop being grown ups and calling each other names. Stop that, please. You know, I'm not their parents. I'm not their high school principal. Rael, what's going on? Rael said one thing I learned is that the last thing blacks want is a solution. Black Messiah said just making good conversation. Let me play my role. We good in here. I respect the channel. I get that. I get that, but understand this, and that goes for everyone in the conversation. Everyone that's in that chat. If you say something, you might get a response from either people in the chat or myself. So just get ready for that. And it's never anything personal. I don't want to find you and beat you up. It's, it's but the thing is though, when we do have these conversations, we have a chance to talk it out. Just like Marco Ross. Let's get together and discuss those issues. I agree. That man said problem. Moderators timing people out for little or no reason. Man, look, depending on what channel you go on. Now, you got timed out that last time. I don't know. Uh like you got timed out that last time. It really wasn't my intent for that to happen, but I don't know. I guess you were I don't even remember why. But you know, I don't like being timed out and I don't encourage being timed out. I don't encourage it. So but if it happens, it happens. I have to trust my moderators. De facto, abort black male babies is a solution for you. Oh man, yeah, that one comes up quite often. That's from the so-called quote unquote divestment community. Who what and the contradiction to that is like I said in the past, although women can do what they want to with their bodies, that comes from a very adversarial position. That man said, Iron Banyang. Okay, we know exactly who you're talking about. And that one right there is One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. She's crazy. She's an extremist. Now I'm with TVA on this. If there was some say if I started spewing the rhetoric, uh, we need to start once you find out it's a female, please abort it. Man, I would be infamous. They probably would have shut this channel down for hate speech. Yeah, I get it. I know de facto. They said abort black male babies, the males. If I started saying stuff like abort black female babies, like I said, I will be infamous. I will be the worst person in the world. They will call me. No, I'm not gonna do it, Marco Ross. No, that's not something that is within my principles. Besides, I have a daughter. Like, not and it's never going to be I have a daughter so I can't talk about black women. No, it's I have a daughter so it would make sense for me to talk about aborting black female babies. Like my little kid, man, is one of the best, in fact probably the best thing that has happened to me. Lord have mercy. It's just like just no, 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 I'm not going to do that. Don't see y'all already worried. Kev doesn't need to stoop to their level. Oh, you were supporting what I was saying. No, I don't need to stoop to anyone's level. All right, let me bring up something real quick. Let me bring up something real quick. Just see, like I said, Google's your friend, and I learned this in I learned this one thing, and it's a general thing, but I learned this while I was in school for IT. Oh, just bear with me one moment. Boom, there it is. Now let me share the screen again. And hey, Black Messiah is cool. One thing that I do understand is not everyone is going to agree with me, and you guys don't have to. The content creator that sits up there and acts like you supposed to agree with everything they say, that's the guy or female you need to be wary of. Hmm. Okay. Blow this up on the screen a little bit. All right. And here we go. It says the 5 steps to problem solving. Number one, define the problem. So, what do you have to do to define a problem? You have to talk about it. Number two, gather information. Anything tangible like stats, newspaper articles, actual events. Generate possible solutions. What would be the way to what would be the way to solve the problem? Evaluate ideas and then choose one. Then five is evaluate. Now, sometimes those are worded kind of different. Let me see if I can find. Okay, it's like 5 steps to problem solving. It's like define, brainstorm, pick, implement, review. Yeah, there's many ways to say it, but it all means the same thing. So my suggestion for those people who want to sit there and talk about, well, we need to talk about solutions. Um, Google it, study, like come up with some way to implement the 5 steps of problem solving. Now, what do we say? Like, okay, say for instance, somebody brings up the fact that they're saying that we need to that single motherhood is a huge problem in the black community. Okay, what would be easiest way to eradicate that? And like my thing is, okay, don't do the things that will lead to a young woman becoming a single mother. Like, first of all, if I were to address men, my belief is that we must stop having unprotected sex with a person that we barely know or do not intend to marry. Or just wait to have unprotected sex um, till after we get married. Now, I'm not saying that marriage is a guarantee that you will stay together, but if you ask me, that's going to be one of the first things I'm going to say. Now, for a lot of the people who let's keep it real. A lot of people who watch me, the demographic is from age 25 to 64. A lot of you coming into these channels, you already have children and things have already happened. So, um, the only thing I can say for those people is just to be simply just no matter what's going on between you and your baby mama or baby father, try to make your decisions that are in the best interest of the child. And and don't, and by all means, don't use the child against one parent or the other. Like, you hear these single moms always using their children against the fathers of the child, because all that does is more damage anyway. How do we solve fatherlessness in the homes? First of all, because a lot of these people always say that they left the home, and my answer to that was, well, if it was some hotel hijinks or some backseat boogie, there was no home established to begin with. Like, that's just all there is to it. Like, if you're an adult, just make smarter decisions. I can't tell you who to sleep with. I can't tell you not to sleep with people. All I can say is, just make the smart decisions. Make sure if you're not ready to bring a child in this world, don't do things that you will bring that will bring a child into this world, like having unprotected sex. And then unprotected sex, a child ain't the only thing to worry about. Shoot. Another problem that can come up is STD, a sexually transmitted disease. Now, no, I'm not talking to a bunch of 16-year-olds when I say that, because every time you hear about unprotected sex, it always, oh, he shouldn't have shot up in me. He shouldn't have. If he didn't want if he didn't want this responsibility, he shouldn't have had sex with me. I'm like, what kept you from saying no? But venereal diseases. And then if that ain't even the case, if you can avoid the both of them, hell, you could create crazy. A lot of these women think that they have the idea is that if you stick your penis in them, then that's love. Yeah, and I mean, like, I know that's kind of an older kind of concept, because a lot of these girls just like they jump on the cock carousel, and that's it. So take it how you want to take it, but I mean, let me see what's going on in these comments. Long Tone Song, what's going on? Rael. Booker T. Washington created the first chamber of commerce in America, and white folks used it while blacks abandoned his business principles. Like I said, they don't want solutions. De facto said Frederick Douglass had the first black bank. It failed. Blacks lost their money, and whites got it all. Mm. STDs and STIs on the rise again, big time, in the black community. Is mostly black women that have it. Significantly more black women than men are sexually active. Those are CDC stats. Hmm. Those are CDC stats. Hmm. Well, looks like I lost a sub behind this. That's okay, Kev. Don't get discouraged when you lose subs. Uh, yeah, but I give you a solution uh, that we all need to implement. We as a people, we need to accept the truth. Accept the truth. It's that simple. Accept the truth. A lot of us fight against the truth. Gold Professor, what's going on? Good to see you, brother. Oh, I got a super chat. C. Smith, the ruler. Let me scroll back up so I can put it on the screen. Yeah, and Marco Ross. I'm gonna write down that. I'm gonna be sure to write down the email address. C. Smith, the ruler. Roe v. Wade has been overturned. Whoa! Wow. Roe v. Wade has been overturned. We're gonna look that up and talk about that in a second. Hmm. Let me see. Write down this email address real quick. But C. Smith, the ruler, thank you for that super chat. I really appreciate the support. Any support that this channel gets, I'm grateful for all of it. Yes, really generous on you guys' part. Really generous. You know, let's see who else. Check something else real quick. Then I'm gonna look this Roe v. Wade up. Okay, all right. I checked what I was gonna check. Rael. Solutions mean you have to actually do some work and can't complain about Dwight man anymore. Well, I'll say this to Rael: we definitely cannot um, deny the negative impact that it's had on us, but I get what you're saying. To sit there and continuously use it as an excuse, you know, is extremely useless. And to use it as an excuse to behave a certain way is also very counterproductive. Let's see. Okay, I'm just trying to find some. Yeah, first of all, we got to look up so we have a clear understanding what Roe v. Wade is actually about. Just all right, all right. Let's see. Just one moment while I share the screen. Indigenous TV, what's going on? Appreciate you showing up. All right. Said leaked draft Supreme Court decision would overturn Roe v. Wade abortion rights ruling. Political report says. All right. That was published today, just a little bit ago. And it said the key points: the Supreme Court is poised to overturn the constitutionally protected right to abortion ensured by the nearly 50-year-old Roe v. Wade decision. Uh, According to a leaked initial draft of the new opinion obtained by Politico, the draft is written by Justice Samuel Alito with the concurrence of at least four other conservative members of the Supreme Court. We hold that Roe and Casey must be overruled, Alito wrote in the decision, which relates to the Mississippi's strict new abortion law, according to the report. Politico noted that Supreme Court draft opinions are not set in stone and that justices sometimes change their positions on a case after a copy of the draft circulated among them. So, it said the inescapable conclusion is that a right to abortion is not deeply rooted in the nation's history and traditions. It is time to heed the Constitution and return the issue of abortion to the people's elected representatives. Roe was egregiously wrong from the start. Hmm. The draft opinion, if formally issued by the court before its term ends in about 2 months, is it will leave it to the individual states to set any restrictions on them on how a woman could terminate their pregnancy. Hmm. So, what do you guys believe is the positive in that? Let's see. Indigenous TV. Is that hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power said Rael, I found out that black women abort 1,000 babies a day. Indigenous TV says Keisha about to raise hell on earth. This Rael says she about to go ham and cheese. De facto said they gonna be running on the court, protested at the playoffs. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of women dressed in their vagina suits on this one. Wow. But at the end of the day, if you were more, if they were more responsible with the way they carry it on sexually, and it is like I said, I don't scoff at a woman having the right to do what she wants to do with her body, but shit. Mm, let's see. It says let me read it. It says Roe v. Wade was a landmark decision of the U.S. Supreme Court in which the court ruled that the Constitution of the United States protects a pregnant woman's liberty to choose to have an abortion without excessive government restriction. The decision struck down many U.S. federal and state abortion laws. Roe fueled an ongoing abortion debate in the United States about whether or to what extent abortion should be legal, who should decide the legality of abortion, and what role of moral and religious views in the political sphere should be. It also shaped debate concerning which methods the Supreme Court should use constitutional adjudication. Hmm. As that Law Talk Son says, the timing of this is very important. They're going to get their Supreme Court Keisha to help fight the practice. Hmm. De facto says slut walk. Black Messiah is how she have the right to abort, but I can't say no to starting a family with a jump off. Really? You want to start a family with a jump off? It's about to be on and popping now. What? Yeah, it's about to be on and popping. Yeah, all the kind. There's about to be all kinds of shit going on. Rael, she don't have a right to do what she wants with her body when taxpayers pay for it. If she wants to throw herself off a building, then have at it. An interesting point. Yo, they might have try to them back alley abortions. SMH. Hoes about to be laid out dead over trying to perform their own. Gold Professor says we are going to see the uptick of underground remove embryo farms. Hybrid catastrophic impact X83rd power. Rael, they say they like to say it isn't a life yet to justify abortions, yet others be throwing baby showers as early as conception, and police charge double murder if the chick was pregnant. Hmm. Indigenous TV. Sherman's March won't have shit on Keisha and her Becky overlords marching through. Wow. All right. Do this real quick. Let me do this real quick. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. So the topic is said de facto said bootleg stem cell research. Yeah. As Harvard said, the womb is powerful, and with great power comes great responsibility. Yeah, man. But the topic is solutions. You say, what a load of crap. And the topic is to respond to the fact that there's a lot of people out there that they don't want solutions. They just want to use that as a straw man argument. Mm, mm, mm. Wow. Marco Ross said child support case is gonna go up. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, this is the statement of the night right here. The solution is stop being a dumbass. Now, if I haven't 100% agree with anything Raw L has said, this would be definitely one of those times. I agree 100% of that. That's the ultimate solution right there. Actually, if if you stop being a dumbass, then you would solve 90 to 95% of all the problems off the rip. He says they like to say, "Who are you to tell a woman what to do with her body?" Yet we are the ones literally paying for their awful decisions. Hmm. Yeah. Hmm. I will. Yeah, that makes sense right there. If we, that's one of the first things they say. And I tell this story like I used to stay in an apart. In one of the apartment complexes I used to stay in. I had a neighbor, like he had his girlfriend staying with him, and he got her pregnant. So he did everything that he possibly could to get the girl to keep the kids. Begging her, said that begging her, saying that, hey, you know what, I'll be a daddy. And you know what she did? She went and got an abortion. She didn't want and it was twins. You know how rare twins are. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like There was only like one set of twins in my family, and it was my granddaddy and my uncle. Granddaddy on my mother's side. Um, so when she got the abortion, they botched up the operation, and because of that botch, she can no longer have children. And he pretty much had broke up with her. After that, he was just like, "What use are you to me?" Black Messiah says, "So what do the dumbasses do?" Dumbasses do a lot of. Let me tell you what dumbasses do. Dumbasses do dumbass shit. Okay. All right. All right. So, listen up, guys. And he says, and don't forget the child support system and generate a lot of money for the government. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Child support is a business. So, all right. So, listen up, guys. I've talked about this long enough. I think I put special emphasis on the fact that when people do come up with a solutions argument, that is not really a solution that everyone is seeking. It's just really just a nullifier to the subject matter that is being discussed. Um, and what we have here is a golden opportunity to make things better. But at the end of the day, I know that some of us want better, but most of us don't. Most of us, or I would say most of them, don't. So once again, I thank you guys for um, you know coming along on this journey with me to grow this channel and to you know help me get whatever I'm trying to get accomplished. Is to give a platform to you guys as black men to speak our truths, and maybe just one day we'll come to a viable, and I use quote fingers when I say this, solution. So till the next time, long live the habitual line steppers. In Kev we trust. We are all going to win one day. Hopefully. I am going to win. Goodbye.
Now I'm feeling objectified by your male gaze.